This is the Inga Bark Show, and Inga is out today. She is lost, and she's wandering an airport back east, so she should be back tomorrow. This is Ken Mettler, and I'm substituting for Inga today. We're in the last segment today, and just talk about one other topic here. I want to make sure folks are aware that Sean Hannity is going to be here in California. He's going to be in Huron, which many are probably wondering where the heck that is, but it's north of us here, and basically you take the I-5 up to Jane Avenue, that's Jayne Avenue, and you go west. You go towards the mountains for about a quarter mile, and you come to a street called Glen Avenue, and you turn left, and you go about a mile. Now, they have signs there, and there's tons of people there, so it's actually quite easy to find. It's in an abandoned almond orchard. So you take I-5 north to Jane Avenue, go west towards the mountains, go about a quarter mile to Glen Avenue, and you turn left, and that's it. And you're there.
Did he change locations?
No. I got this yesterday. Why, do you have something else there, Rocky?
Well, yeah, because I thought he was going to be off of the 198 over in Lemoore.
Oh, well.
In a tomato field.
Oh, you know what? And this says almond orchard. Well,
yeah.
Hang on a second here. Let me find... bear with us, folks. Here. Oh, you know what? Well, you know what? We better not say the
Yeah, well, I know you can get some more information on kernradio.com.
Yeah,
we have a banner there.
Yeah,
so.
folks, I'm going to drive you there. Go to kernradio.com for the correct stuff, because this press release came out. It might be a little dated. So, yeah, go to kernradio.com. Get your directions to the Sean Hannity event. They'll actually ask folks to arrive around 5 o'clock. I think they're actually going to go live with the program at 6. So Sean Hannity live here on the water crisis that's occurring, the man-made water crisis that's occurring here in the state of California. It's devastating these farmers, and he'll be there with Paul Rodriguez, which is near and dear to me because we had Paul Rodriguez out here in May to the California Republican Assembly convention. You know, Paul Rodriguez had been a fundraiser for Democratic legislators for a number of years, and he found out the Democrats were on the wrong side of this issue. They're on the side of the environmentalists who are putting people out of work, including farm workers, devastating farm owners. Completely crazy. Paul Rodriguez needed help. Republican Party members stepped up to help him in his cause to get sanity into this debate, get the water flowing, and quit putting fish before human beings. A little Delta smelt that's not even native to California, just kind of a it seems like a very simple solution to keep the fish out of the pumps for the irrigation. It's not really the real reason, but that's what the reason was used, and a judge seemed to see some logic in that to devastate one of the major industries in our state for that silly reason. So anyway, got the debate going. Paul Rodriguez came out, spoke to our group in May, got this issue on the radar, got it up to Sean Hannity on a national level. And Sean Hannity, this is the second trip he's made out to California on this. So kudos to Sean Hannity for understanding how important this is for an industry in the state of California, one of the most fertile farming areas in the whole world. And it's being devastated by goofy logic that only happens sometimes in the legal profession and in environmentalist minds here in California. So anyway, go to the kernradio.com website, and check that out and get the location up there, up north of us. Folks, also, I wrote a piece this last Sunday, and it was entitled Democratic Health Care Would Mean a Bonanza for the Unions. And if you didn't get a chance to read that Community Voice, just like to go over some of the high points that people don't realize. A lot of this health care debate and these proposals, the 1,100-page document we're told about Congress is deliberating on, that and other plans, they don't understand that gives big labor $10 billion of taxpayers' money. And you know where it gets the $10 billion also? It pays for it by taxing non-union workers. Now, let's think about that. You're going to have a health care plan that built into it says they're going to subsidize big labor by taxing non-union workers. And you know what they're taxing? Your health care plan. If you're non-union, your health care plan is going to then have a tax added onto it. And it's going to go over and subsidize big labor health care plans, and because many of those are insolvent because they've given away benefits that are unsustainable. So people, I tell you, the minutia on this thing is unbelievable. You got to read it in detail. Our elected officials need to get on the ball, call this stuff out. This is bad. The Democratic majority should be ashamed of themselves for what they are foisting upon the American workers here. This thing is more about people control than it is about cost control. It also forces unionization, in the very mechanics of this thing. And in fact, out here in California, we have already seen forced unionization in home health care. A lot of these home health care workers are reclassified, by the way, California, as public employees for the purpose of collective bargaining. I don't think most of us are even aware of that. And so this is kind of the model that they're following with these bogus schemes they're trying to do to us in the Congress with these healthcare various proposals that are out there, because they basically co-opt the whole healthcare system into a giant union mechanism. And in fact, the AFL-CIO president John Sweeney, he mentioned here a while back, I think it was in July, that the goal is to impose a Kaiser Permanente unionized healthcare model on the whole United States. He said that in a speech. And in fact, he was speaking to a big labor union organization when he made those statements. So, folks, you've got to be very, very cognizant of what the real goal here is. You know, on the surface it says to get affordable health care to everybody, but in reality it forces small businesses to unionize or go out of business. And in fact, there's estimates out there that the per-cost employee for medical insurance under a lot of these plans, the one, in fact, by Senator Max Baucus in the Senate right now, it would cost the employer $20,000 per employee, even if that full-time employee was only making the minimum wage. Now think about that. What is a small business person going to do if they're going to be hit with a tab of $20,000 for their minimum wage employees? Well, they're going to either shut down or fire those people, or they're going to seek ways to get the work done with less people. It is a huge drive to unemploy people, frankly. So we need to be very, very careful. Also, one of those Democratic proposals being touted by Max Baucus says that it'll be illegal in 5 years to purchase private health care insurance, and it wants to transition everybody to a government plan. Now, President Obama says he doesn't have that in, quote, the plan he's touting. He evidently doesn't know what some of the leaders in the Senate are proposing. So evidently our president does not know what some of the leaders in his own party are suggesting. So I'm not saying that he's lying. I'm just saying he's very unaware of what his party leadership is proposing. And so we need to be very, very careful about this plan, dig into the detail, and there's a whole scheme built into this that has a lot more to do with how to control the American people than it does about how to provide affordable health care. So be very, very aware of what's going on, and that be very, very skeptical, because we have been lied to quite a bit through this whole debate. It has not been sunshined, and we need to dig into the details, and there should be no rush on this. This is too big a deal to take a rush, have people vote on something, especially when they haven't read it. So let's take our time and pick this thing apart. It's our money, our kids' future. And folks, it's been a pleasure today to act as guest host for Inga Barks. She's a great gal. We look forward to her returning tomorrow to the program. And this has been the Inga Barks Show here on KERN. Now, bigger and better at AM 1180.